Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Everything and Everything. This is your host, AD here. And today we're here to talk about some pressing issues regarding menstruation, the myths and challenges surrounding it. So, I'm very thrilled to introduce Miss Anushri Bhandari here,
Hello to the viewers of Everything and Everything.
who is here to share her valuable experience and give us some insights into menstruation challenges. So, Anushri, to start off with, we as Nepalese women go through some cultural rituals when we first get our periods. Do you know about this and do you have any experience?
So in Nepal, we have these cultural practices which is common in village area of Nepal. It is called Chaupadi Pratha. So in this, what happens is a girl is sent far from her home in a shed when she got her first period. So usually she is sent in that shed for 14 days because they think that during her first period she can't be seen by her male family members.
Yeah.
So she's in there for 14 days without no contact of her family members. And I think it's really bad, and it is still prevalent in some areas of Nepal.
Yeah. I think Chopadi Pratha, as you say, even I think you went through, I went through it. Though I lived in city, I still had to go through it. So, and I also know of people who have faced extremes of Chopadi Pratha. And overall, I can say that it is very much strict in rural areas than in the urban, but prevalent everywhere.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So as I said, in villages, it's in extreme condition. Like she is sent in a shed.
Yeah.
Like there is no access to food, water, and everything. And I am from suburban area of Nuwakot. Like it's like not big city, but I used to live there, and I was also practicing this. Like when I got my first period, I was sent to my neighbor's place. I think I stayed there for 7 days, not 14 days, which is like less extreme, but still I had to practice it. Like I can't be seen by my father, my brothers, and I had to live with my neighbor for 7 days.
So, I think we also learn in school that because of Chaupadi Prathas, a lot of not in school, but I think we heard about it, that because of Chaupadi Pratha, a lot of women face a lot of sickness because they were sent to shed where basically cows live, and they had a lot of disease because of it. Yeah. So it is a pratha that still is in Nepal in various forms, but still prevalent.
Yeah, I have still like heard news about it. Like a few years back, there was this case like a woman was bitten by a snake because she lived in a shed.
Oh,
so it's not safe. And yeah, it's very extreme in some places. Yeah.
So did you also go through it? How was it for you?
So when I got my first period, I think it was around the evening time, like 7, 8 in the evening. And I was confused, but I figured out like it might be my period. And I talked with my mother, and she was also worried because she had to send me like somewhere, right? Yeah. She can't have me in the house because she was grown up like that and she didn't know any better. So she talked with my grandmother, I think, and they figured it out like, okay, we'll not send it her far, but she can stay like the just right beside our house, our neighbor house. And she was telling me like I have to go there, and I was crying and crying. I said, oh, I don't want to go. And but at that time I also didn't know much about it, and I didn't have like convincing power at that time, so I had to go. And I stayed there for 7 days, and I was not happy about it, obviously, but I had to do that.
But were you like, did you have proper supplies of food, proper supplies of sanitation and everything?
Yeah, that my family provided me with, because I think like they also didn't believe in it at that time, because they were also learning new things, and they felt that it's bad, but everyone in the village were practicing it. So I think they also had some societal pressure.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, that's the reason they sent me there. But obviously like they provided me with food, sanitation, and everything. So yeah, it's very bad in some places, but this is also bad, so it is still happening. And yeah, I hope it changes soon.
Yeah, I think Nepal has a lot of societal pressure, and they really, I think, try to do a quote like follow the herd.
Yeah.
And basically that's what happens.
Yeah.
And even I had to go through this, and luckily for me, I don't know if it's lucky, but they cleared out the storeroom and I stayed in my house in a confined space.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to a neighbor's house. But I had a little brother who really used to hang out with me a lot, and he was like looking for me. He was waiting at the door, and then trying to peep with the little
Same
hole.
With me too. Like my brother used to come to the neighbor's house. I used to shut the door and I used to say to him, "Oh, go away! I can't see you."
And like we had to go to the bathroom, so I jumped out of the window and I landed on my balcony, so that I could not see him. And he ran towards me, and basically the ritual was broken because I saw him and I did get a bit of scolding from my grandma. But it's sad to see that this kind of rituals still exist in Nepal, even in the 21st century. Yeah.
So this morning I talked to my mother to clarify like if it's still happening. So I think for us it happened like few years back, like 14, 15 years back, right?
Yeah.
So, and today I thought like it might not be there. And I was talking to my mother and I asked for my relative sister, like the sister I have, like if they did the same thing with them. And she said like they didn't send her to the neighbor's place, but it's still like what you did. They confined her to a room and she couldn't see like brother or father for 7 days, and she was just staying in a room for 7 days.
I think for my sister who's young, she also maybe 2 years back she went through this, but she was able to sit in her own room, which was the confined space. So I think it is more lenient now, but it's very unnecessary.
Yeah, very unnecessary.
I don't think it should be done. It's not impure. We're not impure just because we get on our periods. So basically the logic behind is what I have problem with. Having a 14-day of rest, I like it.
Yeah.
And I really was treated very fairly, and people, I don't know if that happened with you, but a lot of my relatives and family come to meet me during that period.
No, but yeah, at the end of 7 day I was given presents, and that happened, but like not during the 7 day period.
So for me, like the whole, I stayed in the room for 14 days, and everybody used to come meet me and then bring me food, chocolates, and gifts. So that was something that happened with me, but also because I think we were more lenient, still not lenient as my sister, but more lenient. But that did happen with me. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was menstruation. How was your first experience? What did you react when you first got on your periods? How did you feel?
So at that time, I didn't have much knowledge about menstruation. So they didn't taught me in school, and I think my parents also didn't thought I will get it that soon. So they didn't taught me anything about it. So when I first had it, I was really confused. So I couldn't figure it out, like if it's really my period. So I just guessed it, oh, there is blood, so it must be my period, right?
How old were you?
I think 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next period I got, I had to follow certain rules. Like I couldn't enter the kitchen, and I couldn't stay in the same dining table with my family members. And even though I was small, I felt that's wrong, right? So I started protesting. Like I used to tell my mother, why are you doing this? It's not fair. Why am I being treated differently? So I think for a few years I did that. I protested, but my mom, she was resilient in her decision. But I protested and I wasn't holding back. So after a few years, she gave up completely, and now I can do whatever I want. So
that's
finally
really nice. My mom, she's still very resilient. I think when I was there, I used to do everything that I wanted, even during my periods. But after I came back here, and my sister is still little to protest, so she has been getting her way around the house for this particular rule. Because what happens is that sometimes in periods you're home alone. You have to eat something. You have to go to the kitchen. It does not make sense for us not to go to the kitchen and not touch stuff. I understand the logic behind it, because they cook some food for gods. So these things are prepared in the kitchen, and basically that's the logic for my mom, that she does not want me to touch the surroundings. But still does not make sense. It's the gods who gave us this period, So, but yeah, I think I do avoid going to the puja ghar, which is like a separate house for all our god and deities that every Nepalese has. So we basically have a separate room for where we keep our gods. So we're not allowed to go there. And I also avoid going there because of how my mom is. And I think she has implanted that on my brain as well now. So I avoid to go there. But others, I don't think it makes sense.
And like some people give reasons like, it's for you to rest. So that's why we have certain rules, right?
Yeah.
But when I go to my village, I see women like during their periods, they are working in the field.
Yeah.
And they are doing every like hard work, more hard work than the housework, right?
Yeah.
And they gave us reason like for you to rest, we are not allowing you to enter the kitchen. So that doesn't make sense, right? So I agree, like you need rest. So we should allow women rest on these days. But it doesn't mean like you are being treated differently. So if you have rules that you can't enter the kitchen, then what will I do? Like if I'm alone, like as you said, when you are alone, we have to enter the kitchen. So I think following culture blindly, like it needs to be changed.
I think it's also very outdated. But still everybody follows it, and even I have to go through it when I go back home. And you know, when we eat our food, so we cannot sit in the same table as other people and eat our food when we get our regular menstruation cycle as well. So we have to sit in a separate area and then
that's
eat.
really bad.
Yeah. So it's very weird, orchestrated through just because we get our periods. It does not make sense to me at all. And I just go and I touch my brother like this, you know. Like,
when I tell you, like I protested, I did everything. Like I used to go into the kitchen and I used to touch my brother and I used to tell my mother, now what happens? Like, and now like I don't have to do anything. So I'm really happy about it.
That's very true. But me also, when my mom said, don't go and touch the dining area, and I'm like, just like, it does not make sense to me. So that really happens with us. But basically in Nepal, we go through a pratha ritual where women are separated for 14 days when we get our first period, and we're confined into a space where we are not supposed to meet any male members. And even in our regular periods, we have to go through certain rules and regulations in the house that do not go there, do not touch there, be in a confined space. Again, I think it's also confined space, to be honest. So we have a lot of restrictions and myths regarding menstruation cycle that still exist in our society. But having said that, so as you were saying before, I think regarding school, how they do not teach you, it is very true. I also had no idea how menstruation is going to look like. I just knew that the blood is going to come out. That's all I knew. When did you start learning more about menstruation? How did you come to know more about it?
So after I started getting my period, like I used to ask my mom a lot more questions, and then she told me about like little bit, but still the knowledge wasn't clear. So I think only like after many years I started like researching more about it, and also internet helped later in the stage. So with the help of internet, my friends, like we started talking about it, and I know like now a lot better. So like now I know about different phases and why I feel certain way in some phases, like that. Like now I know like a little bit more.
So I think, would you like to share with us what kind of phases that we go through?
So we have 4 stages in our menstruation. So the first one, which is very painful, like the one where we bleed.
Basically.
So it's like generally 5 days per woman. It can also go up to 7 days. So in that stage, we are very, very tired.
Yes.
And we don't have mood to do anything. We are tired, we are bleeding, and we have severe cramps. So this is the first stage. So after that, 6 days till like 14 days, we have follicular stage, and it's my favorite stage.
Mine too.
I think most women will relate. In this stage, we are very active, we have energy, and we are really motivated, happy, and we are cheerful. So
also we have a very high level of estrogen. I think that's that also helps, the reason that we're very, very much energetic during that phase.
So in this stage, we are like our best self.
Best self.
And after that, like we have ovulation, where egg gets released, and it's like 14 days or 15 days of your period. So in the ovulation stage, like somehow your energy level is still stable, but after this stage it goes downhill.
That's true.
So
then we come back to the main stage,
which is luteal phase. So it's my like not favorite.
I don't think that's anybody's favorite. My god, even thinking about it makes me mad.
So it's coming soon for me. Yeah, so I'm dreading it already. So in this stage we have like low estrogen level, and our energy starts going down, our mood starts getting cranky. Like we get upset very easily, we get irritated easily, and we get angry a lot, and I cry a lot too.
So basically the PMS phase.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is very, very hard. The premenstrual syndrome, it is really draining. It really is draining. For me, I get so mad. Like in a day, I am just, my madness spikes up, and then I cry. You know, and then I smile at the same time. I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm like a bit, you know, I have some issues because the way I act is so different.
Like I know that I'll be getting my period like before 1 week, because like my mood is so bad, like I want to cry all the time. And if I watch some movies, like even if it's not that sad, I will cry. Like I will cry. And if someone says me like some little bit thing which hurt me, like I will start crying. And when I was back in Nepal, back home, like I used to fight with my brothers a lot. Like a lot will be a like understatement. Like I used to take my house in my head. Like I used to like fight with them. I used to shout, and my mom used to get worried, like, why are you acting like this? And I used to say to her, Mom, like I will get my periods in 2 days. We'll see. That's why I'm like this.
I think for me as well, I get mad. For me, it's like madness, and then I go down to crying, and then I'm very happy. All of a sudden, I'm very happy. Just like if you say a little nice thing, or not even to me, if I hear someone saying nice thing to somebody else, or in a movie, I just, it made my day.
That's nice. Yeah, but I don't get happy, so that's nice.
For me, it's all three at once, and it's very draining because I don't know, I just get very high. My hormone, I think it's very imbalanced during that period. And man, oh man, I feel like slapping everybody. I don't know if anybody else feels that. I don't have to know you. I just want to slap you. Basically, that's how I feel. Like,
stay away from AD.
I know. No, really, like once what happened, I let my intrusive thought win, and I said this out loud in front of my workplace where I used to work before, basically. And she was like, she was a German lady, and she was like, you know,
like, are you really going to do that?
I know. And she was like, really? She was like, oh, I'm worried. She said that. No, don't worry. I'm not going to slap you. And I basically told her, like, we were just walking down the path, and there are few people coming out way, like our way. And then I was like, oh man, I feel like slapping everybody. She got very, very, like, I don't know, she was German, and she got very scared by me. But that's not how, I would not basically slap anybody except my brother, but anybody else, no. And I really feel like just, you know?
Yeah, I think our brother suffered a lot because of...
Yeah, I don't think he did. He needs to be more, he needs to suffer more, to be honest. Yeah, but sweet thing my brother does is like on every period, basically, also I think because he's scared, he always brings me ice cream.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's something he is really good at doing. He brings me ice cream. Also, I really think because it's because he's scared during that period, but also it's really sweet. I think he also cares about it, and he's very careful around me during periods. Other time he's like a monkey jumping around my side. Yeah, but during periods he's very careful.
I think that's why like it's also our responsibility to make boys learn about menstruation. Yeah, because my brothers also don't hesitate if they have to buy me pads. Yeah, or like get me some things regarding my menstruation. Yeah. So I think it's changing. Like men are also changing in our society, and that's good.
But I think having a sister helps.
Yeah,
it really helps.
Yeah, if they didn't have me, I think they wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, because like I know some of my friends who is a single son and have two brothers. They really had no idea, and I was the one who had to teach them about these things. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, because it is important. Having a sister really helps. It should not be the only factor. Even if you don't have a sister, I think parents should take it upon themselves that they teach their sons about menstruation, what goes on in those period, and also education.
Yeah, in the school, like I think it's very, very important. Everyone should know like how woman body works and why like this is this. Like if I'm angry, like my hormones are imbalanced and I'm feeling certain way, like it's very hard to explain to someone who doesn't know it. So I think it helps, like if everybody has knowledge about it, like they can feel somehow like a little bit considerate.
Yeah,
I think
that's very important. I think for me, people need to be considerate around me during that time.
And also like during like our menstruation period, like if I'm having severe cramps, and if I have to explain it to someone like I am having cramps, and I think it's like not
please understand it by yourself. To be honest,
people have to understand, like okay, like she's in her period, she's in pain, like we don't have to explain it, right? So it will be better like if it's that way.
Talking about cramps, how bad are yours?
It used to be really, really bad before. Like when I was like just started getting my period, I think like for a few years it was really bad, and after that I started taking care of myself more. I started taking like good nutritious food, leafy vegetables. I think that helps a little bit. So in the beginning, like sometimes I used to faint. The cramps used to be so severe. Like I think I have fainted like in my period total of 4 or 5 times.
Wow. Okay.
Like one time it was in a microbus.
Damn. Okay.
I was shopping with my sister, and then I took a microbus to home. And on the way, I fainted, and I don't even know like how I got out of the microbus. And then I had to be taken to the medical, and then they gave me medicine and make me rest for some time, and then I was okay. So yeah, it used to get really, really bad. But thankfully now, like I have little bit it under my control. Like I take my medicine immediately if I feel like my cramps are getting really bad, and I have my hot water bottle with me, and like I prefer to stay home in those days. Like I now work part-time, so I don't have compulsion to go to work every day, thankfully for now. So yeah, I prefer staying home for 2 days of my period, and I try to take it easy. So yeah, that's like how it is now. And for you, like, how is it?
Before, in the starting, I think as you said, it was very difficult. I remember I was not able to get out of the bed, and my brother had to basically carry me and take me and put me in the bathroom seat because I was not able to walk. And in the starting, it was very horrible, and my parents were also very concerned. I tried so many things, from herbal medicine to Ramdev medicine, and to very, very disgusting juice that you have to drink because it helps your body. I tried a lot of things, really a lot of things. And during our SLC, which is the 10th standards, and which is very important in Nepal, you have to get a good score because everybody cares about that.
Like silver gate or something.
Oh yeah,
silver gate to your career.
So we have that, and during SLC, they really care about your attendance, and I was missing 5 days of school every month.
That's really bad.
Yeah, and the teachers were very concerned, and they told my parents, and my parents were like, okay, we have to do something about this now. So my doctor suggested me to take painkillers 1 or 2 days before my menstruation starts, because when my menstruation starts and I take my painkillers, then it does not really work for me because the pain was very unbearable. So that's what I did for the whole year. And later on, how much are we gonna take painkillers? It's also not good for you.
And you feel so guilty while taking it. Like for some reason, if I have to take medicine, I feel so guilty.
Me too. I do feel the same way. And I try to avoid taking as much as possible, but sometimes it's just
too bad. Like you have to do it.
You have to do it, And the other thing that I personally need during my periods is hot water bag. It is very essential. And here, because I live alone, I am not able to open the hot water bag when I get on my periods. And I cry every time because I'm not able to open it. And I always have to go outside and ask somebody else to open it. Because I don't have that power and energy anymore. I can feel my body not having that energy. And I really put a hot water bag in my body to the point that everything is red.
That's
and
really
sometimes
bad.
sometimes skins come off, but I really don't feel it because the pain inside is so bad. I really don't feel the pain that's happening around my outer skin.
Like now I use a hot heating pad which is made out of I think cherry seeds.
Yeah.
So I think with hot water it gets risky sometimes. So if you are like ready to try new things, I think it's also a great option. The smell sometimes bad, so
I don't like it.
I think you have to be careful.
You definitely need like a microwave for that, because you have to heat it on a microwave. And hot water bag is basically readily available. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful, because I have burned my skin here a lot.
And I also heard like the water sometimes gets leaked, and it's so hot, so your skin will get burned. So you have to be careful.
Basically, you really have to be very careful that you really tighten the lid. You really have to be careful regarding that. At the same time, when we talk about menstruation, we recently also have the chance to get some knowledge regarding endometriosis. So, what do you know about it, and would you like to share that with our viewers?
So, endometriosis is a condition where you have tissue growing outside of your uterus. And it can also grow in your fallopian tube, your ovaries, and like women experience severe cramps during this period. Like you have regular cramps, like your period normal cramps, and then there is endometriosis cramps. Like it's way harder.
So, to be honest, like even I have very less knowledge about it, and I also found out regarding this condition, I think, after I came here to Germany. So when I came to Germany, I was having some problems with myself. I was having periods for 6 whole months. So basically, I was bleeding through 6 whole months. And it was a very difficult time for me. So I had a very good friend who had invited me for a house party. And I was like, I'm just going to go there, show my face, and then come back, because I was in no mood to party at all. And so I was there, I talked with some friends, and then I came back and I was just resting on the couch. And when I was resting on the couch, I got a chance to meet very, very sweet lady. We got to talking, and then she mentioned that she has endometriosis. And she was trying to spread the knowledge of endometriosis to as many as females as she
really nice
meets. It's very nice of her. And she told me that she had been suffering from endometriosis since a very long period of time. The doctors could not find out what it was. It was not diagnosed for a very long period of time. She was not able to work and do basic activities. So she wanted to claim benefits. But for her to claim benefits, the doctor had to provide something. And which they were not able to. And afterwards, after searching and then talking to many doctors, she found out about endometriosis. And she then asked her doctor to check if she possibly has endometriosis. So then they diagnosed her after a few years. Finally, they diagnosed her. And they found out that she had endometriosis. And even after they found out that she had endometriosis, she still had to fight for her to claim benefits. So I would like to say that to all the viewers, endometriosis is a condition which is not just happening in your gynac region, it is also happening in other parts of the body. There has been further research going on regarding endometriosis, and I'm also not an expert to share a lot about this. But I can say that much through reading and through seeing articles that there has been a medical trial going on regarding endometriosis and how we should detect it, first of all. So right now you have to go through laparoscopy, which is a minimal invasive surgery. And they like put a pipe down your through the surgical area. They put a pipe down to see your surrounding tissues, and then they find out. So, but they are trying to find a more easier and better way to detect endometriosis, to basically diagnose endometriosis. And second thing that they have been doing is that they have been conducting trials, because they found out that amongst the women who have endometriosis, 60% of the women have Fusobacterium in them. So they're trying to see if treating it with antibacteria is going to help. But I don't know where the trial has been going on or which stage it is in. But if you have severe cramps, do not take it lightly. Please go see a doctor. See if you possibly might have endometriosis or not. It is always better to rule something out than live with it.
So how old was she?
She was around my age. She was 26.
So it can happen with any age, right?
It does not. So, it's not like it happens in the old age. It can basically happen in any age. And in Nepal, I think we have very less knowledge about a lot of things regarding also the HPV. injection that we intake.
So the HPV is a human papilloma virus.
Yeah.
So I only got to know about it after I came here. You are supposed to take the vaccine before you are age of 14. So in Germany, basically, like every girl, like it's mandatory for them to take this vaccine to protect them against cervical cancer.
Yeah.
And in Nepal, like it's one of the highest risk region in South Asia for cervical cancer.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Like
me neither.
So I think many people still don't know about it.
Yeah.
And like if you have resources to do it, I think I will suggest everyone to take HPV vaccine.
How many shots have you taken?
I have already taken 3. Like there are 3 shots.
But you also you have to be below a certain age. Only then your health insurance is gonna cover your vaccine shots. Otherwise, you have to pay for it on your own. If you're in Germany, try to get your house doctor to give you HPV vaccines, but also it's completely your choice. But to female who have these problems of cramps, please go see your doctor and consult regarding this. So that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for coming here.